In this video, I wanted to cover the good and the bad of the Ruger LCR trigger. Since this pistol was released in 2009, Ruger has marketed it as having one of the best double-action only triggers on the market. And truthfully, I would say that they aren't far off from that claim. It's quite a good trigger. So I've got an unloaded Ruger LCR 22 here. Of course, this is a rimfire gun, so the trigger pull is going to be a little bit heavier to actually facilitate detonating those rounds. But even then, the roughly about 10 to 11 pound trigger pull is very smooth. It's lacking stacking. And what stacking is a quality of revolver triggers that a lot of people have bemoaned for a long time. And to show stacking, I've actually got a Smith & Wesson 442 here. This revolver is empty. Now, this is a revolver that I've done a lot of tuning on. I've swapped some springs and done some honing to make the trigger pull better. But for stacking, I'm going to get the trigger in real close. And as I pull the trigger, we have varying weights and varying feels until we get to about this point here, and then it's pulling the trigger. To make a comparison about what stacking feels like so you can kind of visualize it, imagine that you're lifting something heavy and you're trying to push it over a wall or over a barrier. It's like it's pretty heavy and then not as bad, and then heavy again as you're getting up to your chest, and then you're pushing it over the wall and the weight's gone. On the LCR, we don't have that. It's a consistent trigger pull the entire way through. Now, obviously, you can still shoot your J-frames and your K-frames totally fine with the stacking triggers. It's just one of those quirks you learn to deal with. Now, for something I don't like about the LCR's trigger, I'm going to pull the trigger here and show this. We have two cutouts on the trigger itself, and if we don't fully let the trigger all the way out, we have this false reset here, we're just going to spin the cylinder. So what I've learned that I have to do is let my finger all the way off the trigger when I fire. So otherwise, you might just be sitting here spinning the cylinder because there's a false reset. I call it rowboating, almost like we're rowing a boat and we're getting the oars out of the water as we go to do the next pass. When we fire the gun, we hop off the trigger, we're ready to fire again. I've now been doing this technique for the LCR, the J-frame, my K-frames. I've got an old Rossi that I shoot fairly often. It's one of those things that I had to modify how I shoot to shoot this gun better. Generally speaking, I'd rather modify the tool if the tool's the thing getting in the way here, but there's not a way to modify the trigger assembly on this pistol and retain the reliability that I've had. So we'll have plenty more pocket pistol content coming down the pipeline. Check out down below for written articles and more videos, and thank you so much for watching.